If you're a car enthusiast, there's an event that you must visit at least once in your life, the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
In the summer sunshine of the south of England, the Goodwood Festival of Speed takes place every July. Goodwood brings together the world of motorsport, and if you're a fan, you're treated to a moving display of over 340 vehicles driven by the racing legends. In this second program, Kazunori Yamauchi, the producer of the Gran Turismo series, immerses himself in the Festival of Speed, meeting the stars of Formula One and other celebrities. Goodwood is not just about the people. The cars take center stage, and Yamauchi-san will be driving a selection of the world's best production sports cars. He'll also travel back in time, taking classic racing machines on the course, including the legendary and one-of-a-kind 1966 Jaguar Xj13, a beautiful and truly unique machine. But what is it that makes this event so special?
I think it really boils down to people. Cars draw together and tie together different people like a piece of string. And splendid people like Lord March, incredible drivers like Sebastian Loeb, and incredible engineers from all the manufacturers, they are drawn to cars and gather around it as if it were the string that tied them all together. I think that's what Goodwood is about. So what I was thinking, while surrounded by the nature here, was that it's really the people that is important in cars.
The F1 teams are out in force at the festival. Their runs up the hill are not timed, which gives them the freedom to cut loose and put on a show for the fans who are just meters away.
Going up the hill this year has been pretty relaxing. Obviously, the drivers, the F1 drivers, have had a bit of a chat about where we can do our donuts and where we can do some burnouts potentially. Timo has hooked up a bit of a trick system with the front brakes, and they're doing some good burnouts, so that works well. But the donuts are good fun for the fans, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward just to drive up the hill.
One driver more than any other gets an extra special welcome from the crowds.
The reception you have here is phenomenal. I just can't believe how many people actually come down. You know, supposedly it's been something like 50,000 each day. Yeah. Supposedly today is even more. But coming back as world champion with #1 in the car, it's a very, very special experience for me. You never switch off, and I still want to win. There's something inside of me that tells me just to keep pushing.
Recently retired from F1, but back this weekend driving a selection of cars, including the Red Bull F1, is David Coulthard.
So, are you driving a Williams car today?
I won't know. I drive the old Mercedes, 1939 Mercedes, and the Red Bull. There is a Williams celebration on Sunday with Frank Williams, and my career starts with Williams. So I go, I see Frank, and say thank you.
I've always been a Formula One fan, and you, David, have always been a Williams driver, as long as I've been a fan.
My opportunity came after the death of Senna, so a very difficult situation. You know, he was killed, and then I started my career. So,
enjoy your drive today. This is my first run today, and my last run was 4 years ago, so I'm going to be careful.
A whole paddock is devoted to over 40 of the world's best production supercars. But unlike crowded motor shows, the cars are given the chance to show what they're made of. The Alfa Romeo 8C Spider is a beautiful car from the Italian marque, with a top speed of 292 kilometers per hour and a 4.7-litre V8 power unit. This convertible must be one of the best ways to take in the summer sunshine. Almost the embodiment of Japanese innovation, the Nissan GTR Spec V feels very much at home let loose on an English country road.
I was able to drive with confidence. I actually caught up with the car in front of me. There's a quiet garden behind the Goodwood house, very green with a big tree. That's my favourite place. I like the moments in that serene location where the exhaust notes of the racing cars echo throughout.
The lawns next to the Great House play host to the Cartier Style et Luxe Concours competition, where cars are judged on design and aesthetics by an expert panel from across the arts world.
Yes, that natural, serene environment sort of makes you reflect upon the history of the cars that surround us here.
The history and origin of the cars at the festival are often complemented with the selection of driver. And this year, Bruno Senna, nephew of all-time F1 legend Ayrton Senna, drives his uncle's championship-winning McLaren MP44, which won 15 out of 16 Grand Prix in the 1988 F1 season.
Well, there are two sides of driving that MP44 McLaren. First is taking care of the power and the speed that the car can achieve. And also there's the sentimental side of driving such an important car where Ayrton took his first World Championship title, and I don't know, I'm enjoying myself a lot.
Some cars are more suited than others to the course. The 1992 Audi V8 Quattro DTM proved an inviting drive for Yamauchi-san.
It should be very fast and very easy to drive. And it's a four-wheel drive, so I'll be able to floor it with confidence.
This model proved very successful as Hans-Joachim Stuck won the 1990 DTM Championship, followed by Frank Biela the year after. In its full race spec and original livery from the 90s, coupled with the legendary Audi Quattro system, what more would anybody want to take on the twists and turns of the Goodwood course?
The Lotus is a car that I've always admired since I was a child, like the Lotus Esprit. And this car has inherited their long history of design. So I'm looking forward to driving this British car here at Goodwood.
The Evora is the latest offering from Lotus. Created in a mere 27 months, and with rumours that a convertible and supercharged version will be made, it's sure to be another success for that most English of sports car manufacturers. The fastest run competition is one of the highlights of the festival. Taking place on the final day when the competitors have had a chance to fine-tune their cars, it's a great opportunity to see the machines doing what they do best. In his 1987 Jaguar Xj R8, Justin Law pushed the 7-litre V12 Le Mans monster to the limit. Having won the trophy 3 times in the last 5 years, Justin was victorious again, winning by a mere 200ths in 44.4 seconds.
Justin Law, 44.4 seconds.
Well, I actually had fun in all the cars. But considering the location here at Goodwood, I must say I enjoyed driving the Jaguar Xj13 here and it really was a fulfilling experience.
The XJ13 was the first mid-engine Jaguar and the first to house a V12. It was powerful and stunningly beautiful, with a design by Malcolm Sayer, who also designed the classic C, E and D-type Jaguars. Made to take on the likes of the Ford GT40 at Le Mans and other events in the 1960s, just one was ever built, and it was never fully developed for racing. This is a true one-off, which is literally priceless.
It was so easy to drive. It's hard to believe it's a car from the 60s. To drive a car like this at Goodwood makes you feel special. And it's a car that was made 2 years before I was born, so we're almost the same age. The mere fact that this car is still moving is unbelievable, that it actually still functions and drives.
The holding area at the top of the hill is a place to meet other drivers. But not all drivers are professional. There are many people from different walks of life, but one thing binds them together. They all share a love of cars, no matter where they're from or what they do.
Enjoying the event?
Oh yeah, great fun. Yeah, this is terrific. Very exciting. It's very exciting to see all these cars. Like my PlayStation come to life.
That's really a good way to put it. Mr. Jay Leno's house, for me, was just as good as here.
Well, I'm working on it,
What else did you drive today, Mr. Leno?
But just that one, and later I'm going to drive that one. I have one of the road cars.
What's your favorite car out of your collection?
Well, it's hard to say. I wouldn't have all those cars if I had a favorite. You know, it depends on your mood. Sometime I'll be reading a car magazine, and I'll read a story about the Mustang GT350. Then I have to go drive mine. I mean, it depends what, you know. It's like I drove the C-type Jag. I want to go home and drive my Jag. It's like every girlfriend you ever went out with is sitting waiting for you. You can go pick one.
Every year at Goodwood, I have different favourite cars, but the XJ13 at this year's event was extremely beautiful. And the newest Audi R15 I saw at the top of the hill had a real functional beauty about it as well. Before arriving at Goodwood, I was worried this tight schedule would be impossible to deal with. But now I think it's actually better to have a lot to do at Goodwood. In a word, what it all boils down to is that the ingredient which makes cars so spectacular is the spectacular people involved with them. And I think Goodwood is a place where you come to realise, through the wonderful cars here, how wonderful people really are.